Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Let me just put the lights on. There we go. Happy Thursday. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I just got ready because I have an outing later on. So I just finished getting ready before I do the webinar with you today. I hope everyone is doing great. And whoever is joining tonight, I wish that you would be able to share your thoughts, share your ideas. I just want to give you the opportunity to ask me any questions. So please feel free to ask any questions. I'd like to hear from you. If I have something that I would like you to share, please feel free to share in the chat. And if you have any questions, you can also ask them. I'm just going to open everything in front of me so that I can see the questions that you might have. And just so you know, hi, Farida. Happy to have you here. Happy to have everybody here tonight. Well, tonight for me, I don't know where you are in the world. It might be evening time. It might be morning time. Happy Thursday. So tonight, we're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is the topic of self-development. And I'm going to be talking about the main two different ways that you can tackle in order to start your self-development, the do-it-yourself process or the guided process. So we're going to talk about both of them. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons for each one of them. And at the end of the day, it is your call which one you go for, which one you choose for your own journey. We're going to be together for around an hour. And I want you to stick till the end, because at the end, I have a special invitation for you. So without further ado, I would like to start this webinar with my personal story about self-development. So around 13 years ago, my brother was going through his own journey of self-development. And in his journey, he was really focused on a lot of meditation, a lot of self-searching, a lot of inner discussions, So he was really going through this process on his own without any support, really. Just let me put my phone on silent before the messages start flooding. And so my brother started his journey with doing meditations, and he went through a lot of other processes. But at the beginning, the first thing that he was doing, he was using meditation most of the time. So one day he comes to me and he says, Maysoon, you have to try meditation. It's done miracles with me. And I have gotten a lot over everything that we went through with my mother because of going through meditations. So he was really keen on, trying to get me to try his method. And I actually did. I asked him to send me a few of the meditations that he was using, and he did. And I tried to use those meditations. I tried to go in the process in that way. But I couldn't feel the things that he said he felt. I really didn't feel them. And for me, the process was kind of okay, relaxing, but I didn't have any breakthrough using his method and using meditations. So I did it for a while, and then I stopped completely. And then life went on. I really did not think much about it. And in my mind, I was really, really convinced that I had everything sorted out when it came to my limitations because of the way I was brought up by my mother. You see, I had an abusive mother. She still is, unfortunately. But when you are a child, it's completely different. When you are abused as a child and you don't really understand, and you start developing those limitations, that you start thinking that if my own mother cannot love me or cannot treat me well, what am I supposed to expect from the world? And you start having those limitations that start building within you without you even knowing. And this is how most of our limiting beliefs are formed in our childhood. And they are really very much related to how we are brought up, and how what kind of relationship we have with our parents, and with our surrounding, and with the people around us, and especially the people who are supposed to be our role model, or our caretakers as children. So going back to my adulthood, I really thought that I had gotten over everything that my mom did to us as children, and how she treated us. And for me, it was like, I told my brother, I'm good. I mean, I tried the meditations, they didn't do any much difference, but I'm good. I don't feel that much resentment to my mom. I don't really, think about it much. So in my mind, I thought that it was done. When did I realize that it was not done? Actually, it was when I started asking big questions in my life related to the how my life was going, and how everything in my life was always reaching a point of dead ends, when it came to my personal life, when it came to my even to my professional life. There was always this place where I would stop, and things would completely stop for me. So there was a block that I didn't realize, that I didn't understand. And when it came to my personal relationships, especially with partners, there was always this feeling that that partner is going to always leave, or that partner is going to always abuse me, or that partner is going to always treat me bad. That feeling was always there in the back of my mind, and in my subconscious mind. It was always there. If you relate to this, please let me know, because I feel this happens to a lot of us, and we don't really understand why we are feeling this way, or why is it that sometimes we go through a relationship and everything is beautiful, and as everything is amazing, and then all of a sudden things change, and things become so negative, and so different. So when I was doing my own journey, I realized that I had these blocks in my life, and I realized that I had to do something about it. Now, I did not really know that this was related to my mother at the time, right? But when I decided that I had to do something about it, I was really very new in the self-development journey, or even, dare I say, industry. I was very new. I didn't know really what to do. I didn't really know where to go to. And when I started, it wasn't really that developed, and it wasn't really that common, for people to go through these journeys. And more than additionally to that, it was really a common limitation that maybe I put for myself, not maybe, for sure I put for myself, and even a lot of people put for themselves, that limitation that tells them, or that tells us that, if we go to a psychologist, or if we go and see a therapist, we are labeled as crazy. So a lot of people were really very careful, and very observant, or even very worried about going through that journey or going in that direction, because obviously, what would people say and how would people react? And, when we are not centered or loving ourselves enough, it's when we care about what other people say or what other people would think about us. And that mindset blocks us, and that mindset keeps us stagnant and keeps us in the same position. And sometimes it even brings us backwards. So when I started asking those questions and when I started my own journey, it wasn't really very obvious, and there wasn't really a lot of personal advisors, I want to call them, out there. So I had to do the journey the hard way. Or I don't want to call it the hard way, because for me, it was probably the right way, because it led me to where I am today. And every person of us, every one of us, will know what journey they want to go through. They will know what journey speaks to them. The journey that spoke to me is the one that I took. It's the one that I actually went into so many different directions. And the reason why that happened is because I didn't know better. I was just trying everything. Whatever worked was amazing. Whatever did not work was a learning, but I had to do everything myself. I had to try things and fail, and then I had to try things and succeed. So for me, this journey, which took like almost 10 years, is a journey of trial and error, and also a big learning curve until I reached where I am today. But I had to do it all myself. So I personally took the DIY project process. I took the DIY process. And the DIY process, like I said in the post and like I said in the email, it has its pros and it has its cons. And the pros that we're talking about here is, first of all, freedom. What does that mean? So when you are on this self-development journey and you are doing things on your own, so the do-it-yourself approach, you have the freedom to choose whatever learning path that you want to take. You have the freedom to decide when you want to stop and when you want to start and what you want to do and how you want to do it. So that freedom is really very much connected to being on this journey as a do-it-yourself process, following the do-it-yourself process. The freedom is also about choosing what to do and how to do it, and certainly when to do things. But it also gives you a bit of more certainty, because you are the one making the decision. You are the one deciding on how and when to move forward and how and when to stop. So that's how you feel that freedom, because you feel that you are the decision maker in that process. That's one of the pros. The other pro that I want to talk about also is the self-discovery. So basically, it's like going on it's like literally like being in a maze. When you are in a maze, you go and then sometimes you hit a dead end. You have to go back, and then you have to take another route, and then you hit another dead end and you have to go back. And during that process, what is happening really is you are discovering a lot of things about yourself. The only thing is that you're discovering them again by going through some sort of a kind of a dead end approach, like we start but then we cannot continue because something is not right, or this is not the right way to do it, or that's not the right approach. but in that process, you are discovering yourself. You are discovering a lot about who you are. You are discovering a lot about what things you need to do about yourself, and what are the things that are important to you. You will start discovering these things when you do the do-it-yourself process, when you go through it this way. I'm just doing one thing very quickly. And the other thing that about the do-it-yourself process is that you will be also, I'm sorry, you will be also discovering everything through your own experience. And that helps you become more independent. It helps you become more aware of the things that you want to do on your own versus when somebody is guiding you or holding your hand. So that's the self-discovery part, and it allows you to learn a lot by that trial and error process. Now, for example, for me, when I started, even until now, the thing about, because I am still on the do-it-yourself process, right? I am now helping other people to guide them, but personally, I am still learning as a do-it-yourself process. I do have guidance, but I don't have guidance to go through my full journey. I have guidance in very specific things, right? But my full and total journey is still a do-it-yourself process. And until today, I'm still discovering things about myself. I'm still discovering things about through the experience that I'm going through the different courses that I take, through the different mentors that I follow, because believe me, I follow a lot of mentors. So my experience is becoming, wider because of this. But I have to say, it's not planned, and it's not well structured, right? It's very random. And this is one of the cons of being on that journey on your own. Now, before we move to the cons, let's talk about the last thing that I want to talk about. So basically, the third pro of doing this journey or going through this journey as a do-it-yourself process is the flexibility. And by flexibility, it means that you can decide to, from whatever you are learning, you can decide to adopt things in your life the way you want to adopt them, the way that you see fit, the way that you find that this works for you. And then you have the flexibility to go in so many different directions instead of sticking to just one path or one learning. So you can go, for example, you can learn, I don't know, maybe it's tarot reading, let's say. No, let's talk about something more efficient. So you can learn, for example, how to do meditations, and you can also learn, you can decide to learn how to do breath work, or you can decide to go for yoga, so you have this flexibility. And deep down, you're kind of following your intuition and you're following your heart. You don't really know what meditation is going to give to you. You don't really know what yoga is going to give to you, what sort of, what sort of development or what sort of results yoga is going to give you, or meditation, or breath work, or, sound healing, or energy healing, or Reiki, whatever you choose to do. You don't really know what the results are going to be, but you have that flexibility. You have the flexibility to do all of them at the same time. This is one of the pros of the do-it-yourself process. When you are in a guided process, there will be very specific, it will be literally a blueprint. It will be a step-by-step guide to how you can move from point A to point B in your self-development journey. That's the difference. When you are in a do-it-yourself, there's no proper planning. So now we're going to go to a little bit of the cons of the do-it-yourself, although I have spoken about them a little bit in the pros, but also in the cons, you will see that when you are doing a do-it-yourself, or when you are going through your development journey on a do-it-yourself process, you will be going through a lot of trial and error. This is the way it works. So it can be very long. It can take a long time. Remember the maze, it will be, very strenuous and very difficult to reach from where you are today to where you want to be. It will take you longer. Just like take me as an example, right? So it will take you way much longer, and you will have a lot of bumps on the road that you will need to cross and you will need to go through. And the road is not really smooth. It's not really a smooth sailing, right? Because you're going to go through those trial and errors. And what I noticed happens usually when you are on a do-it-yourself process, following a do-it-yourself process in your self-development journey, what happens is you tend to stop things in the middle. You tend to not move, not finish everything that you start. And this is one of the things that I actually try to help people get over, because that's kind of procrastinating, right? When you don't finish things, it's literally a type of procrastination. Sorry. So basically, these are the things that you will face when you are going on this journey using or following the do-it-yourself process. Another con that you will face when you are doing it, when you are going through this journey following the DIY, is that you will be literally on your own. You will have zero guidance. There is no one to tell you where to go, how to go there, and how to move forward, when to stop, when to take a breather. There's nobody really helping you through the struggle, and there will be a struggle. There will be a struggle to find the right direction. There will be a struggle to understand, what do I do next? Where do I go from here? Because this is exactly what happened to me. I was like, and now what? What do I do now? How do I move from where I am to really becoming that person that I long to be, that I want to be, and that I deserve to be? And when there's no guidance, you're going to have to do it on your own. You're going to have to think about these things. And most of the time, you will not have the answers, because let's face it, it's like, it's not your arena. You are exploring, right? So you will keep on exploring, and you will have to, again, fail and stand back up and move forward, because this is what you are here to do. This is what you took upon yourself to help yourself developing. So you will keep on doing this and moving forward, even if you are doing it on your own, and even if you are struggling. But these are one of the cons of doing this journey on your own without any guidance. The other thing, and this is definitely one of the things that I went through, is that you get to become lonely, that you start isolating yourself. Now, it's not really because you want to isolate yourself, but it's because when you are doing this kind of work, and when you are doing it on your own without any guidance, you become sort of addicted, like you become very how do you call it? You become very focused on doing this and on going through this journey, and you start to kind of forget about the world around you. And because you don't have any guidance, you are doing the support for yourself. You are only looking at you, and like you're your only mentor, you're your only guide, and you are your only motivator. So what happens is, because nobody is there cheering for you, you are cheering for yourself, and you are doing everything on your own, you tend to also isolate yourself in your mind. And that's exactly what happened to me. In my mind, I was like, nobody's going to understand what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep on doing it on my own. I'm going to keep on I'm going to stay aside, and not allow people in, so that they don't see my struggles, and so that they don't, I want them to see the end result. That's how I was feeling when I was doing my own, when I was going through my own journey on my own. Now I don't feel this way anymore, because I have crossed so many struggles, and I've crossed so many blocks to reach here today. But at the very beginning of my journey, I was isolating myself, and I was struggling. And sometimes I still do isolate myself, but because this is when I want to be focused, but that doesn't mean that I isolate myself because I don't have guidance, or because I don't have anyone around me, or because I don't have friends. No, it's because this is where I want to be focused, right? But isolation and not having a guidance, not really having the right, or not allowing, because it's not like you're not having, because I can assure you, I have a lot of friends, and a lot of friends were there ready for me to share and ready for me to ask for help. But I was the one who isolated herself. Nobody isolated me. I isolated myself because I really wanted things to be done my way. So these are the cons of doing the self-development journey on your own. Let's just recap quickly. The pros are basically the freedom that you get, and the self-discovery journey that, it allows you, how the do-it-yourself process allows you to learn from your own experience, from your own struggles, from your own, do and don't, and all of the trials and errors, and that gives you more independence, right? And then the third thing is the flexibility, that you can adapt the approach that you want, wherever you want it, however you want to adapt it, so that flexibility is yours. These are the pros of doing it yourself, and taking that journey on your own without any support and without any guidance. The cons are basically the trial and error process that you have to go through, and obviously the lack of guidance and the isolation, putting yourself in a place where you are isolated and you are really not connected, because you don't have really the right support and the right guidance. Now, I did everything on my own, and I did a lot. I have to tell you, it took me years. I did dozens of courses. I have dozens of certifications. But I can assure you that there are lots of things that I did that I didn't really have to do, that I could have, I could have gained more time for myself, with myself, within my journey, if I hadn't done those. But for me, again, this is a learning journey. This is a lot of knowledge in my own package, in my own life, in my own knowledge library, right? But if I knew or if I had more like a clearer guide or a clearer route or a clearer, literally, blueprint to follow in order for me to move from where I was years ago to where I am today, I would have taken that route without even thinking. But when I started my journey, I did not have that luxury because I really was like, my journey started without really being planned, without really being my main focus. I was just doing things and things were changing for me. And then I realized, I need to do more of this and I need to do more of that. And maybe doing more of this will help even more. And then when I started releasing a lot of my limitations, then I understood that, okay, now I should start planning it more. I should start be more focused, and I should start to be more realistic about things and really do the things that will help me and not the things that will waste my time without really tangible results. If I had a guide when I was starting, I would have definitely loved to be guided through this journey, because it wouldn't have taken me all the years that it took me to reach to where I am today. So, having said that, I'm going to now tell you about what it is that is important, or what are the good things about having a guide in this journey. And the thing is that these journeys differ from one person to another. So every person's journey is completely different. Every person's journey is focused on who they are, on what they have been through, on the limitations that they are facing, on the shadows that they have, the circumstances of their life, not the circumstances of anyone else's life. So that's why every journey, every self-development journey is different. Now, it's true that every self-development journey is different. However, there are things that are very common to every single one of us. And those things are mainly the limitations that we gather throughout the year. I'll give you an example. One of the most common limiting beliefs that exist globally in the whole world, and I can assure you, every single person out there at one given point in time had this limiting belief. And this limiting belief is the simplest limiting belief of I am not good enough. One person believing that they are not good enough. This limiting belief is a belief that exists everywhere. Every single one of us has it or had it. If you worked on yourself, you would have already crossed that space and you would have already crossed that, limitation, and you are now in a completely different place. But if you haven't worked on it, then probably you have this limiting belief. Every person out there have fears. Every person out there has sometimes lack of confidence in specific places, or in certain circumstances, or in certain happenings around their life. Many of us have the fear of or we think that money is not good and money is evil, and money is not something that we should have a lot of. A lot of us are, I have to say the word, a lot of us go through judgmental phases. We judge others, we judge ourselves, we lack compassion for ourselves, we lack compassion for others. We are always in the comparison arena, comparing ourselves to everyone else, or comparing our life situations to everyone else. This is everybody out there. This is not just one person. This is everybody out there. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that it's true that every single one of us have their own journey, but our limitations are very similar, which means that we can, as a community, have a proper blueprint to follow in order to elevate our life. That blueprint can actually exist. And that blueprint is something that will be provided to us by a guide, by a person who can really support us along the way. That blueprint will be the result of a lot of work. It will be the result of, probably, like in my case, my blueprint for you is the result of those 10 to 13 years of my own journey. You know, this is how I came up with my own blueprint for people to follow in order to develop themselves and in order to discover who they truly are. Okay, Lucky. Okay, so moving with that, here are the pros of having a guided journey when you are on your self-development journey. First of all, when you are on a guided journey, the guidance is being done by an expert. So there's an expert guidance. It's not a guidance done by your friend or a guidance done by someone who has got nothing to do with this. This is guidance that is done by someone who has the wisdom, who has the experience, who is a seasoned mentor, who has gone through the process themselves, who have developed themselves through a lot of learning, through a lot of experience, and through a lot of trial and error themselves to become the person that they are today, to have the wisdom that they have today, and to carry the knowledge that they carry today. So that expert guidance is very, very important to have when you are going through a guided process, right? And it's one of the pros of being on a guided journey, because that expert guiding you will really guide you in the right direction and will save you a lot of time. And that brings us to the next point, which is efficiency. By the guided support, by having someone really holding your hand and taking you through the process, you are literally minimizing the time that you have to spend on this journey to the most efficient minimum. So basically, it shortens the learning curve, and then you become more like you save more time and you save more energy and effort, because you already have someone who has done this. Like, you know, the saying, been there, done that, let me guide you. Yeah, exactly like that. Been there, done that, and now I have the blueprint to guide you. That that expert guidance is there for you to release you from the strenuous and timely process. All right, and then you can go through this journey way much faster and get your results as well way much faster, and saving you a lot of energy along the way. That's the second pro of being on a guided journey. The third pro of being on a guided journey, that mentor of yours, that guide of yours, is also your catalyst. This person, this mentor, is going to be that motivational process that you are requiring on this journey. And I tell you from my personal experience, I had nobody motivating me, because remember, I isolated myself, because this is what we do when we are on a do it ourselves, like do it DIY equals isolating yourself. So when I was isolating myself, nobody was there to cheer me on. Nobody was there to motivate me. Nobody was there to clap for me and say, yes, you're doing it. Way to go. There you go. Now let's move to the next step. Now this is coming next. Nobody was there to do that for me. I was struggling on my own, and I was doing things on my own. And this is why it took me so much longer. And there was nobody, not just guiding me. Our mentors, or the guides that we have for our journey, are not here just to motivate us or just to guide us. They are actually here to also hold us accountable. And what do I mean by that? It's very simple. When you are on this journey, you are already investing a lot. What are you investing in? You're investing in your time, you're investing in your energy, you're investing in your emotions, believe it or not, because this journey is actually quite emotional. You're investing in your money. So with all of this, if you go through this process on your own and there's nobody telling you, hey, did you do this? You're accountable here. You have to do this, because without doing this, you will not get those results. And without getting those results, you won't be able to move from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. It won't be possible. So if you do not have that motivation and that accountability partner, I like to call them, right? Even if they are our guide, they are our partner, because I have to tell you something that's very important. And I feel it with everyone who I help and I support. And I also feel it with my own peers who are sometimes guiding me. Your success is our success. When you succeed, it's like we are succeeding as your guide. For me, I feel so empowered and I feel so successful when I see one of my clients succeeding in their own journey and moving from where they are to where they want to be. Even if that success, or even if their achievement is this small, for me, it's this big. Because before they started this journey, they were not going anywhere. They were not succeeding in anything. They were not really moving forward. They were just standing still. And sometimes they were even going backwards. So for me, that guide, that person who's going to motivate us and who's going to hold us accountable to what we are doing, and that really pushes us to thrive on this journey, not sit back and relax. It's not like you're on an airplane, sit back and relax, and we will talk to you later when the plane is going to land. No, this is an upwards journey. There's no landing. There is no landing. When you start, all you want to do is to become better and better and better. You want to always thrive. You want to always elevate your energy. You want to always vibrate higher. So your journey is going to be diving upwards all the time. Now, having given you the pros of having a guided journey, there are also some cons of having a guided journey. Excuse me. Now, one of the cons of having a guided journey is people think, or they truly believe, or they even become really dependent on their guide. And what do I mean by that? So basically, when you feel dependent on your guide, it means like you really Every single time you want to do something, you ask your guide if it's the right thing or the wrong thing. Sort of, you completely ignore your own intuition. And you feel like, okay, since I have my guide there, I'm going to dump everything on my guide for guidance, you know? But sometimes it's very important to remember your intuition is very, very, very important. And your intuition, if you have a strong intuition, your intuition is right most of the time. That's why we always tell people to follow their intuition and really follow what their gut is telling them. Your gut will always tell you the right thing to do. Now, when you have a guide, a lot of people tend to become dependent on their guide. They tend to become dependent on their mentor, and they sort of lose their own, I don't want to say identity, because their identity is there, but they lose their own power. They don't lose it. They give it away to their mentor by becoming dependent on them. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if you feel that makes sense, because then we start everything that we want to do, we push it on our guide, and we really always ask the advice of our guide. And sometimes we start becoming really like having no opinion. And that's what I mean by dependency. And this is one of the cons of doing this journey with a guide. But again, it's only a con if you want it to be. So in other words, that dependency does not happen unless you allow it. Unless you give your power away, nobody's going to be able to take that power from you. So it is all in your hands, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. The second con for being on this journey with guidance is, and that's a big con actually, is the cost. It's a big con for the people who really do not know better. And let me explain. If I tell you, when I did my journey, when I went through my journey on my own as a do-it-yourself project, a few months ago, I actually did the math, and I actually put it out there how much money I have spent on myself on this journey. And the number is really, really, really big. Like, we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. Not 1,000, not 2,000. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars, right? This is how much I have spent on myself on this journey because I did not have guidance. This is how much money I actually put left, right, and center because I didn't really know what to focus on. It's true that when you have a guided journey, that mentor of yours, or even that blueprint that you are going to be provided with, is going to cost you money. That's true. But I tell you from my personal humble experience that this money that you will be paying for any mentor, for any guide, for any blueprint is not going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. It's not. If it costs you like a really very expensive mentorship or program, might reach a $6,000 or $7,000 figure, but that is the maximum that you would pay for one guided journey that will actually take you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow in a much shorter time, in a more focused way, and in a more planned way. All you need to do is know where you want to be and really what it is that you want to develop in yourself. So that's the investment that you want to do in your mentorship might look big, might look costly. And the thing is, you pay it once and you go through it and you finish it, and then you move forward with your life. When you are on your do-it-yourself process, by the way, there's something important. Sometimes also in the do-it-yourself process, you will go and look and find things that are cheap, that are just out there available. You will read a lot of books, you will watch a lot of YouTube videos, you will listen to a lot of podcasts, you will follow a lot of, you know, amazing people who exist out there and who are, mentoring for free. But then when it comes to the real thing, those are like crumbs of the bread. When you want to really self-develop yourself, you want the full bread. You want the full loaf, right? You don't want the crumbs. The crumbs will only take you this far. The loaf is what will take you this far to where you really, really intend to go and where you really desire to be. The third con, and that's also a very tricky one, is to actually find the right mentor. So a lot of times we feel like, yes, this is a person who can help me, and we end up not being helped properly or not being guided in the right way, and we feel like, you know, we have wasted our money in the wrong place. So one of the cons of the guided journey or the guided process is that trickiness or that difficulty to really pinpoint who is the right mentor to guide you, who is the right mentor to actually take you from point A to point B in the best way designed for you. So that is one of the cons of having that journey as a guided journey. So to recap again, the guided journey has its pros and has its cons. The ones that I spoke about today, the pros of the guided journey is obviously having an expert guide holding your hand through that journey and taking you from where you are to where you desire to be. The second thing is that it becomes really efficient. Like, you are on a guided journey, you have guidance that will help you spend less time in a more efficient way and go straight to the point and straight to releasing and developing yourself, releasing your struggles and developing yourself in the right way. So that's a very directed, very focused journey and very efficient. The third thing that the third pro is being motivated and having the right motivation from your guide, who is also your accountability partner that will hold you accountable to everything that you need to do. And the cons of having a guided journey is you might become dependent on that mentor of yours, and you might give away your power. Obviously, this is not something that I would, allow or I would accept. If I have people working with me, I will never accept that they give away their power to me, because that's one of the things that I teach them how to stop doing, is giving away their powers. This is part of what I help people with. The second thing is the cost of having a mentor or having a guided journey, having someone really hold our hand and take us through this process. And the third thing is, the third con is really the difficulty of finding the right mentor. And not just the difficulty, because how do we know this is the right mentor for us, right? So these are all the points that I wanted to talk about today. And as usual, I have this invitation for you. If you feel that all the information that I gave to you today is triggering you to start your journey, maybe you haven't started it yet, and you really want to start your journey, and you want to explore actually doing it with a guide. What I have done is I have actually developed a full program that will guide you. I have developed the blueprint. I will be there for you with that blueprint, but I have the blueprint and I have put it together to support people. Just because I have been through a very long journey myself doesn't mean that everyone else should go through the same hassle to really reach their aspirations and their desires. So because of that, and because this is my own because this is my own mission on this planet, is to help people and support them become the best version of who they are. I put together this program. It's called Awaken the Champion Within You. And this program will be the program that will help you release everything that is limiting you and release all your struggles, release all your limitations, release all your shadows. It will help you go within yourself and understand all your personal potential. Everything that you don't know about yourself, you will get to know. You will be able to put your own twist to things. You will actually understand really what it is that you desire. A lot of times I see people not knowing really what they want in their life, not knowing really what they desire, not knowing really what they are good at. A lot of people out there don't even know what is their potential. And I'm here to help them. I'm here to really guide them through that process. And also in that process, you will be decluttering your life. You will be becoming free from clutter. And clutter is not only physical, clutter is emotional, clutter is mental, clutter is social. So that will also be kind of focused on in this program. And the last thing about this program that I really value and that I believe is amazing is a blueprint for you to learn how to manifest things in your life. Now, the thing about manifestation is we are doing it every single day. Every single day we manifest things in our life. We just don't know it. What I want to do in this program is I want to give you the tools that will help you understand how to manifest things in your life and what you need to do to manifest things in your life. But the beauty of becoming a good and an expert manifester after at the end of this program is because now when you go through all these processes and you completely release everything that is limiting you, you become magnetic. You become ready to receive whatever the universe is going to send you. And now you actually, because you have this readiness and because you have this magnetism and because you have clarity, given that you are now free from your stagnation, free from your limiting beliefs, free from your shadows, free from your clutter, you have clarity and you are more aware, especially now that you know what your potential is and what you are good at. You know more and you know better what to ask for and what to desire and what to really manifest in your life. If this is something that is appealing to you, and if you feel that, oh my God, this is the best thing that I can do for myself today to move from where I am to where I want to be, please let me know. Send me a message on Messenger, talk to me, and I will guide you. We can start with a very simple call. We will get together on a call. We will talk about you. We will talk about your circumstances, your current life circumstances. We will talk about where you want to be. And I will guide you through the plan. I will take you through the plan. I'll tell you what we can do. And if I feel that we are the right fit, I will show you what it looks like to work with me. So if this is appealing to you, and if you feel like, yes, Maysoon can definitely be that guide and can definitely be that mentor for me, let me know. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger or comment on any of the posts and tell me, I want to talk, or just simply book a call with me. The call link, I send it all the time with the emails. You can just simply book a call and we can talk. And with that, I want to thank you for spending the time with me today. I hope this has been beneficial. And remember, if there's anything specific that you want me to talk about and that you want me to do a webinar about, just send me a message and let me know, and I'll make sure that I cover these topics. And with that, I bid you farewell, and I see you again next week. Ciao, ciao.